The following live broadcast is rated PG. Parental guidance is suggested. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube and Facebook, or visit our website at www.earshouldervoice.com.
We've got to work together.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to a brand new year. It's upon us finally. 2020 has gone the way of the shitter. It was there the whole time, and it has left us. 2021 is upon us. It is a brand new time for everybody. Hopefully, we're going to look up this year. Hopefully, things are going to get better because a lot of people went downhill last year, but we took a lot of time for self-reflection. One of the things that comes out of that is maybe your resolutions will change this year. They're not going to be the typical everyday resolutions you're used to, because now you've had a chance to look back on yourself, and a lot of people out there have seen what really matters and what's most important in their life. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to share some of our resolutions, hear some of yours. We're going to talk about the year 2020 in review, what we hope comes out of 2021, what we hope for the future of everybody, and we're just generally going to get involved in the things that are happening around us and discuss them with you. Please be sure to share everything you have, any information you have about your resolutions, anything you disliked, liked about 2020, and what you're looking forward to 2021. We love to hear from you, and while you're out there, don't forget, like, share, follow, and subscribe to Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and all the other good ones out there, because we want to have you on there so you can be notified of all our live broadcasts, new shows, be a guest panelist, and engage us live in the chat during the show. Today's topic is, what's your resolve? It's a brand new year, as I just discussed. So, of course, we can't really have a brand new year if we're not accompanied by some great, wonderful friends. So let's bring in our panel. Please welcome our very first panelist tonight, the lovely, the talented Nikki. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm good. How are you, Keith?
I'm absolutely amazing. Welcome to 2021.
I know. Finally.
Finally, it's here. It only took 365 days.
Right.
That seemed like 365,000.
Oh, seriously.
It really did. It lasted forever. So how was your break? Because we haven't been here in a while. I miss you guys. I miss you. So
I know. I missed everybody. It was good. It was calm. It was very just chill, relaxing. It gave me an opportunity to kind of get a head start on what I intended to change for this year. I didn't want to wait for the new year. It didn't make sense. It doesn't ever make sense to me to, wait until, the beginning of a new year when I'm capable of starting it now. So that's what I did. And we just kind of had a chill, mellow vacation.
there's a lot of discrepancy on that with people about starting with the new year. Some people think, why wait? Go to it. And then some other things, if you want to quit, you'll have professionals and stuff telling you it's good to set a goal, set a date, and just plan on it and prepare yourself for it.
Yeah.
What do you think is really better? Do you think there is anything to be said in the preparation?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think it's really important, depending on what it is, your intentions are, to get yourself in that mindset to be successful. Because one of the things that is, I guess call it tradition with resolutions, is people generally fall off the bandwagon about 2 weeks in. And because I knew I didn't want to be that person, I just, like I said, I took that time to get myself in that frame of mind. And this past year has been a really big year for reflection and change. And I wanted to just carry all that stuff over into this new year.
That's good. That's what I think a lot of us need to do right now, because no matter what happened, there was so much learning experience involved, so much stuff that we forgot about that have been brought to the forefront again. And I think that's important. Before I bring in our next panelist, hi, Bill. Glad to have you. We missed you, Bill. We missed you. Good to have you here. And I'm going to bring on our next panelist now. Please, of course, welcome Millie. Millie, how you doing?
Hey, good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It is a new year. Does it feel like a new year?
I don't know, not really.
No, it really doesn't, does it? But it is still a new year. Do you got anything you're looking forward to in this upcoming year?
Um, well, honestly, hopefully being able to get the vaccine and I can be around people more.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
Hopefully
I
that's
do think I'm glad that the whole vaccine. We don't get into politics really in here, but I'm kind of glad it was
right.
released before the end of the year because it gives some people something to look forward to.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
if nothing had come out, regardless, people would like it's never happening, it's never coming out. Now at
yeah,
least people can say, "Hey, there's something on track." Whether they want
yep,
to take it or not, that's your opinion. We respect all opinions on here. So,
yep.
but well, almost all opinions depends on who's on the panel. We have a few. It's just us three for the moment. I believe Linny's going to be joining us very shortly, so we'll have her in a bit. But we're just going to start talking about stuff we have. So, with 2020 being over, yay! God, thank you so much.
Right.
Did you ever feel it was never going to end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that year.
We have to
Although
a little bit.
Well, I will say this. I took some very positive things from 2020. This has been, a very positive change in my life. I've grown some amazing friendships. I started a business. Like, I got some very positive things, but, for the majority of the world, 2020 was hell. And
Yeah.
I'm just glad that it's gone, for everybody, not just for myself.
Oh yeah, I think everybody is absolutely glad that it's over with and gone. For some people, it didn't have as big of an impact, though.
No, yeah.
I noticed some people were talking it didn't really change them at all. Because they didn't see anything. Their work continued as normal, aside from maybe the first month or so. I think
Yeah.
everybody had an impact for that
Yeah.
when it first happened. So, what about you, Millie? What do you think of when you look back on 2020?
Oh, it was a horrible year for me, to be honest. But I think not just because of COVID, it's
You
other
had
stuff
some
in
other
my life.
issues going on as well. I remember
Yeah, I
reading
had a
that.
lot of health issues and things, so a lot of that is behind me now. So I'm hopeful that this next year will be better with me in terms of my health. So
It's going to be better. Just keep that positive
yeah,
attitude. The best way to start a new year is to start with that positive attitude,
Yeah.
that
for
positive
sure.
energy.
Yes,
But
sir.
There.
I did. I mean, it wasn't all horrible. I'd get some great things out of it too. But this was
Well,
not
tell
my
me some
best year.
things you got. What are some good things
Well,
that came out of it?
first of all, this podcast. I really enjoyed doing this. I never
Um,
would have pictured myself doing something like this before.
Right.
I don't think any of us would have
So,
actually, except for
um,
Nikki.
and,
Nikki's
and
online all the time.
and I've learned a
I'm a
lot of new
talker.
technology. Technology that
Mm-hmm.
I just never used Zoom before until everything came
Yeah,
about.
I still
So
am learning Zoom. During our Thanksgiving show, that was the first time I had really used Zoom, and I threw it out there just to have people who could jump on,
yeah,
to so you wouldn't be alone during the holiday dinner.
I use it for a lot for my chorus. We use Zoom to do chorus rehearsals because we can't meet in person to sing. Using it
Now, how
mainly
does that
primarily for
work?
well, we use it for mainly educational purposes because we can't listen to each other sing. But
That's
sometimes
what
what
I
we'll
thought.
do, we'll have different people, coaches, come on and maybe play a track of a previous recording before COVID hit of us singing us of one of our songs, and the coach will go through it with us. Things like that. We've also done things where like we'll have a learning track or something played, and we're all muted and sing along, and then we will stop, and then we'll talk with the director about what issues we had, like where did we notice we didn't match, and ask questions about how can we do this better and things like that.
It's nice to know that there's some groups that were still getting together, and it just goes to prove, just as humans, that a lot of times nothing will stop us. If we have the
Right.
drive, we have the initiative, we're going to accomplish stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen. Now, taking away or going back to 2020 and the good and the bad things, because yes, good things did come out of it. For me, again, this show definitely was a good thing. This pulled me out. Starting to understand what was really important. I mean, I
Yeah.
always thought and I always believe that I know what's most important. I
Mm-hmm.
know, what matters in my life. But there's some things that sometimes you overlook. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it is so much as with me and my job. Uh, I didn't realize how important my crowds were, my people were, just being around that kind of thing, how much impact it truly had on my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a really positive takeaway that hopefully when I get back into the scene, it's going to be a lot different. I'm going to have a better outlet look on it for the first week or so until I hate everybody again. So that's going to be a positive aspect of it. And my question to you is looking at, for both of you, I know the year was absolutely awful, but what you gained versus what you went through, do you think that the positive aspects are more powerful or the negative?
I think definitely the positives. I mean, for me, at least personally, the positives way outweigh the bad. My life, you know, pre-COVID and when COVID and everything just kind of hit was pretty shitty. And I was fortunate enough that we were just blessed from the very start of COVID. We just kept getting handed these blessings where so many people had things taken away from them. So I definitely, I mean, sure, 2020 sucked, but it was great
I
for
do
me.
think I think as far as the future goes, that what we learned and what we took away positively from this year is going to affect us more in the long run than the
Yeah.
negative. I think a lot of the negativity is going to be in the past. What about you, Millie? Do you think that the positivity really outranked the negativity? Obviously, there was more negative, but
Yeah.
positive can be far more powerful.
I think that for me, I had a lot more negative things happen this year, but like you said, in the future, it'll be in the past. I'll have, whereas the positive things will stay with me longer. I think.
If we choose to remember and learn from it.
Yeah.
Like if we remember these aspects. Bill, what about you? I know you're over there, and I know I want to hear about you too. So what's your takeaway from 2020? Now, of course, we're on the new year, and the show is "What's Your Resolve?" It's a new year. We're talking about resolutions, and again, resolutions are a thing of the past. Kind of like a lot of people don't want to use them anymore. But I do think that when a new year comes along, it's a good way. It is a goal. It's a good way to look at things and say, I'm going to start, I'm going to make a change. Most people don't follow through. After 2 weeks or something, they stop. Yeah. I mean, I made it like a day. Okay? So, like a day. And that actually was just because I didn't even know what day it was. I forgot I actually bought them. I'm like, oh, wait, I quit. I was like, well, too late now.
Not
So
anymore.
what would some of your resolutions be?
Well, I think for me, I don't make resolutions
Right.
for the new year per se anymore, but I instead try to say, okay, and it's going to be any time of the year that I do this. I need this to change. This is what I'm going to do to try to work on changing it or whatever. And then I start doing it. Like, that's the only way it's going to work for me. If I say, okay, starting this particular date, I will do something, then I won't do it. I have to be right then that day saying, okay, I'm going to right now try this out, and then take it day by day and try to keep that.
Bill, sorry
as
to
far
hear
as-
this. Really quick, I want to get Bill in here, and I'll go right
Okay.
back. He lost so many people in 2020, and 2021 has to be better. Very sorry to hear about that, Bill. I think a lot of people have lost a lot of people. Some, obviously, loss of life. Some have lost them in other ways, too. A lot of people have moved. A lot of people have just gone their own ways because they can't deal with it. But the loss of life is the worst, and I've lost a few people, too. I think everyone here has.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons it happens to be. So I do believe it's going to be better in 2021. Just always, Bill, keep your head up because every loss, no matter who it is really hard to get over sometimes. But you can do it because you're still here and you're very important to everybody around you. All right, go ahead, Millie. Sorry.
I was going to say, usually if I do make any kind of resolution type thing, it's usually about health or things like, related health wise. So like losing weight or trying to eat more healthy or to exercise. Those tend to be the main ones I usually do.
As you can
Sometimes
see, it
it's
works
a-
for me. Like,
Those don't usually work for me very well when I do it that way.
no.
Sometimes I do other things where I'll try to be like, okay, I'm going to try to be more grateful this year or something like that. And then those tend to stick with me a little better, I think.
That's what I'm discovering. And like I said, a lot of the things that I thought about that would usually be my resolves, which are, like you said, they're the eating healthier, quitting smoking, not doing stuff so much. They've changed this year. I had different thoughts on them. And our panel's about to change once more because we're bringing in Lenny. Lenny, how you doing?
She's
I'm back.
Welcome back. Happy New Year, Lenny.
Happy New Year.
We're
I don't
glad
have
to
the
have
same
you.
background. Sorry, guys.
I
I have
was
this
so
beautiful
good, too.
background. I know,
That's okay.
but
It's okay.
Damn
It's just a
kids.
doorway to another decade. We're good.
Oh, I love that.
I like it. Keep those
Yeah.
doorways handy. Windows would be nice too.
Yeah.
So we were talking, Lenny, about 2020. What is your takeaway from 2020, really? If you thought about it, because one thing we were discussing was that there was a lot of negative aspects, and I mean a lot in 2020. There were some positive aspects about it too. What is your overall takeaway of the year?
Okay. 2020 at the beginning, the New Year's Eve of 2020 I thought it was going to be just the best year ever, because my girlfriend Sherry and I and a few other friends, we threw a party a roaring 20s 20 party at a bar in Lakeville. You've been there, Keith, over at Louis.
Louis.
He let us have the bar, so we turned it into a roaring 20s whole theme, everything. Everyone that came had to wear a roaring 20s outfit. Our band played all in roaring 20s, and so it was just going to be so much fun. And then, of course, COVID hit. And then everything kind of changed, right? So good and bad. It made people kind of have to stay home and be together, and then bad because you had to stay home and be together.
Yeah, you really grew attached to those people and then really didn't want to be.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, so good to have you around. So good to have you around. When the fuck are you leaving?
Now go away.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, one of the questions I had asked the other two panelists on here was, positivity can have such a powerful impact on people more than negativity can. Negativity also often can be a lesson learned in the past. Do you think what 2020 gave us is going to be more positive for the future? What we learned about ourselves and the people around us?
I don't know. It was a pretty toxic year.
It was toxic for you?
Yeah, it was a pretty toxic year on a lot of levels, between the election and between COVID and people with financial problems and health problems and the whole thing. It was just an overwhelming kind of clump of a lot of negative things all at once, instead of a little sprinkle here and there that you can cope with. So the one thing I would say, it's either if you can make it through 2020, you can make it till you're 150, Right. Seriously. So, yeah.
But I one of the things that I like to think the show's about too is finding the positive aspects on things. So there's gonna be a little bit of political stuff in here really quick, because one of the things that I think that was amazing, the election caused everything in turmoil and stuff like that. But you know what? It made people pay attention. People cared. People watched. People learned. People voted in record numbers. For either side, regardless where you're going. Like, it did have a positive impact too. Now, do you think that positive impact's going to carry over? And that's what I mean by, are we going to learn more from the positivity than the negativity?
Maybe. Time will tell. Really, seriously, time will tell. It's kind of like COVID. We really don't know. And we're not even going to know much about this thing until probably 10 years down the road, or more, to know really where all the ramifications of it all, financially, health-wise, economy, all of it,
Bill's got his resolution this year, same as it's been for the last 10 years, to try to not deal with some of my problems violently. I do believe that's actually a serious resolution there, Bill.
Yeah, pretty good one. So how are you going to do that, Bill?
Yeah, how are you going to do it?
Throw away the baseball bat?
Oh my goodness.
I
What's
know.
going on in that chat?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna. He asked nicely if you could ask a political question here. I'm sorry, there's somebody in the chat we're looking at really quick right now. I'm gonna go through that. Like, we usually stay away from the politics here, but once I actually read through that, I'll decide if we can put it up there on that. Now, as far as if you have a resolution for 2021, what would it be?
Who are you
Lenny,
asking?
because we
Me?
well, we already talked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought that was like a broad. There's one little bug in this room. I have to get it soon. I would say probably to stay away from politics with my family and friends that get a little bit that the whole toxic thing comes in if it starts. The whole reason that we want to stay away from it is just because I love my friends and I love my family for who they are, not what they believe in with some Joe Schmo that is in politics, whether whoever it may be. I just want to get back to how it was before. So
I
that's
agree.
my
That
goal.
will be good. I am gonna put this up here, and I'm gonna let Zachinator here ask his question. This is slightly political here, and I do want opinions on this. It says All Rise and he often talks to racial extremists, and each and every time they disarm themselves when he pros a what if every racial group is allowed to group up, directionally split off into space with equal resource and the technology to make it, and set up where they're going on both left wing and right wing sites. They kick you out for asking this kind of thing and talking about. But the rate of technology, maybe not in my lifetime, but certainly in the next 200, 300 years, we will have this change or this chance. Do you think, for example, Islamic bombers would give up if they knew the future struggles would be recognized? That's actually a good question to ask, Zach. I don't know exactly how I'd put this. I don't think you should be kicked out for asking that. I wouldn't go as far as to single out any particular group on there. But sometimes I think that if you split like the certain groups up like that, and if you think people, especially these terrorist groups and stuff, are going to be recognized, that I think it would slowly dismantle some of these organizations because they exist because of secrecy. I know it's not really New Year's related, but Zach, you've never talked to us before, so I want to make sure to approach your question on that. Does anybody else think that would have any issue or any effect on it? It's not really like the sided politics we avoid on there.
Sure.
Right.
So,
I mean, definitely. I think that, because like you said, they kind of live, they flourish in their secrecy or people not being aware. So when it's open publicly, sure, definitely.
yeah, I think the only thing I would say, Zach, is when you're talking to these groups that are kicking you out, I think the term, like, even though you're using it for an example, like the Islamic bombers and stuff, I think that's probably what triggers people, like certain terms like that, because I think you're singling out or isolating a group. But your question, as a general, it's a very good question. It definitely wouldn't happen in any of our lifetimes on there.
No.
But
Probably
hey,
not.
it's a new year, it's new resolutions, everything
You
starts
never
with
know.
a change of one person. So,
Right.
in a sense, that's it. If you want something like that to happen, if we ever do, we got to kind of work it. But don't push yourself into be like some kind of alt group,
Right.
or take over or overthrow government type group or change everything like that. Just start making the change yourself. And I think you're right. I think that would eventually have a big impact on just basically the way people act and are treated as far as these terrorist groups go. LaDonna, you've had a very, very rough year. You got 6 chemo treatments and you'll be cancer free. Very, very sorry to hear about that, but LaDonna, new year, you're going to
Wow.
beat this.
Yeah.
You're going to beat this. The one thing you can always remember, I'm a cancer survivor myself. I don't know who else is. That you never know, but if you're there going through it, then you're in the fight. Mm-hmm. And you're going to make it. Helen here says she's praying for you, Madonna, or LaDonna. So definitely, I'm praying for you as well. You're going to get through that. I know you, LaDonna. You are a very, very strong person. That's awesome. Bill tries to have people around him who are the voice of reason. That's how he intends to stop from the violent actions. And that's actually
That's a
really
good
smart.
one.
I know you have one of your friends, Kathy, you've talked about before on here, and she seems to pretty much be your rock, Bill. Keeping those people around you, they totally make a difference. 100%. If you don't have people to help you, that's why, in a sense, support groups are so good. That's why this show is so good, because we have the people around us to support our ideas and stuff. Zach's responding to touch on why he uses Islamic bombers is just a general. Americans are open to discussing that specific group. Thanks for addressing my question. All you, absolutely no problem, Zach. We'll try to address anything on here as long as it's not sided. If you came on here and said fuck Trump or fuck Biden, then we wouldn't do that. But as far as an actual realistic question, that's awesome. And don't worry about it, that Helen, she got it. We knew who you were talking about. I actually pronounced it wrong. You even said it. You spelled Madonna. I said Madonna. But yeah, it's definitely for LaDonna. LaDonna, take pride, take care, keep friends around you, and don't forget to actually talk to people. Just like Bill was saying as far as him doing his resolve, LaDonna, reach out to some people. Some people have been through it before. They can talk to you. And when you reach out, don't always have to talk about your situation.
Right.
Just have somebody there to talk to. I think that's the most important thing. All right, moving back into, wow, that was a little spill of comments we had there. That was great. I like that. I was like,
He's like, woo!
I know, coming. So, okay, so 2021 is now upon us. What are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to being at this place next year, moving into 2022, and to see the change that has happened through the year. Good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm just excited to see what this year is going to bring. Hopefully all positive.
It will be. Kathy was always the one that Kelly said, Bill, kick his ass. Okay, well, maybe Kathy's not the best one for that.
Maybe she's not the voice of reason.
Should she at least try to get you off of him when he stops moving? Like, okay, you did your job. Thank you. That's good. That's good. No more needed. My resolution actually goes forward to kind of what Bill said, and I've already gone through. My resolution is not smoke. I was hoping I was going to quit smoking, and I'm still hoping I do by the end of the weekend. I just didn't even realize it was the new year at this point. But my resolution changed. First of all, I'm tired of letting people walk all over me. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of letting people take advantage of me and use me. Starting in Saturday, I kicked out the person that was just like staying here, never paying anything, never doing anything, was sitting up in his room like a teenager. Kicked him out about 2 weeks ago. I started in December. I fired one of my best DJs last night that I had for just because they took advantage of situations, and I'm tired of it. And that is something that I'm pushing forward to do too, and that's not a resolution I would typically have made, but it made me realize this whole year what is so important and that I am important.
Yeah.
And how I'm treated. And like I said, I think our resolutions, if we have them, will change. Now, when I say a resolution, too, and we're talking about what's your resolve, I don't mean what are you going to do once New Year's Day came, and from that point on, you're done. I just mean, what about you do you think could change in the future? If everything goes back to normal, and say by May, everything's back to normal, give it pretty much that time frame, what is it you hope changes about yourself in the coming year? What do you hope you remember?
I think for me to keep in touch with people more often, because I have a tendency, if they don't text me or message me or something, to not reach out to people. I'm not the first one usually to reach out. It's usually I respond to people who reach out to me, but I tend to not reach out to others. So I've been trying to do that more, reaching out to people, and I hope to continue doing that more in this coming year.
Even think of that one, and that's one I definitely should do too, because I'm terrible at that. I'm like, even if I want to talk to you, believe it, and this is the stupidest thing in the world, but if I want to talk to you, I'm going to sit there and hope you text me.
Yep.
And it's weird. Because we just don't think, if Millie's like me, we don't think about reaching out like that a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. I just get so busy. I get so busy. I get kind of like lost in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is what builds up to it. I think that's often what builds up to is you get so busy and you get used to that pattern of not texting people or messaging others. And also my thing is that everybody is my friend, kind of. Like everybody sees them as such an important friend. I have a few select ones that definitely know who they are, that are really my, close friends. But I feel that if I text one and forget to text another, then you start a battle between them. Why'd you contact them and not me? I'm like, you're one of 1,000 people that I know at the bar.
Right.
And almost all of you think of me the same way. I can't text everybody. That's one reason I stopped texting a lot of people. That's a good one, though. We're going to get some comments in a minute on here. But what about you, Lenny? Say everything goes back to normal. What do you think you've changed about yourself positively?
Well, my resolution, I guess, would be to be more patient with my mom. Because it's been so stressful and I keep losing it. So I hope I can kind of get that going for me throughout this year. But we'll see.
You will. Hey, if you have that, there's something you can work on from now until then. Any resolution you make. The bad thing, as much as I just promoted the whole New Year's resolution, the bad thing is if you fail, you figure you've completely failed, and you don't always realize that sometimes your resolution is going to take time to achieve.
Oh yeah.
But as long as you keep it in mind and keep thinking about it, it's going to work. Bill's looking forward to Halloween. Really? Halloween is what you're looking forward to. I thought you'd be looking forward to 1 week from today.
Yeah.
I was like, on there, and yes, Kathy did occasionally say you beat him up enough, Bill. LaDonna says thank you so much. She said from the beginning that she will not claim this because she's not going to fight it. She remembers when I was going through mine. Thanks for your prayers and support. You always
Right,
have
yeah.
that, LaDonna. You're amazing. I love you. You've always been a great friend. LaDonna actually was, anybody who went to Hazel Park High School, I don't know if you did or not, Nikki. You didn't, did
No,
you?
I didn't. I went
Greg
to
did.
Stevenson.
LaDonna would actually work there for a while. Jan says, helping a friend. Jan, you commented on the Facebook page initially, said that you wanted to be a better friend to help. You wanted to help a friend get through something, and I'm assuming this is what you're talking about on there. Mm-hmm. That is a resolution that everybody should have every day, in a sense. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. And Jan, from what I've heard from you, and we've had you on the show before, that's exactly what you do. You try to do everything for everybody else. So have faith. You're going to help get through this. But I have to say this: when people are fighting or helping people in a battle of addiction, you can only do what you can do.
Yes.
If for some reason things don't work out, you're not the failure. But keep positive, and likely you will be able to help. Okay, let's go here. Back to Zach. Zach's a typer. On your year's topic, read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Now, I know it'll sound like all cliche of The Art of War too. The Art of War, I know. Even in social situations, you should prepare for war when you seek peace. Many people have mental problems that lead them to unintentionally going out of their way to harm you. That's also true, going back to a little bit with Jan, based on that comment right there. And that's one thing you deal with addictions, too. I know that's probably not where he was going on that, but it's true. Sometimes addictions are a mental issue as well, and addictions can cause others to harm you. And a lot of times, people who do bring harm to this world, it's not in their control.
Right.
It's not something they're trying to do. Lenny said, be patient. Lenny said, patient. I need a nurse in a skimpy uniform. There's Bill. There's Bill. We missed ya. I love you back, LaDonna. I don't know the 48 Laws of Power, by the way, for Zach and Ada. I don't know the 48 Powers of Power by Robert Greene, but I do know The Art of War, and that's good. So definitely good reading material if anybody wants to read anything out there related to that. The Art of War is good, and the 48 Laws of Power is anything like that. It's definitely worth a read. If you're into any kind of... And they're not sided political books either. They're really they're about, at least... The Art of War. It's really about how both sides, with the best and worst intentions, they both have them. And that's what causes stuff like that. And a lot of that stuff will help in these everyday lives. All right, so back to, wow, these comments are coming in. It's a new year. I like this. We're actually filling it in here. Bill, I do want to ask Bill, it just doesn't feel like you. Did you give up on that show for the new year or something? Because you haven't really mentioned it.
Don't encourage him, Keith.
It's not the same if he doesn't. I have to know, okay? He's not mentioned it since we posted it. All right, so any big changes that happened in 2020 or looking to 2021? Lenny, obviously you were no longer in Michigan.
Right.
Where you were.
I fled. I fled the winter. Winter was coming. I got out of there.
And Lenny said, get the fuck out of here. I'm leaving.
Exactly. And I threw my mom, who is basically handicapped now, my sister, who is handicapped in a wheelchair, and my son, who's autistic. I threw him in the motorhome, and I took off to Florida. And I was the only driver. And picture them having, every time that they have to go to the bathroom, they can't get up to go to the bathroom, so I have to stop and pull over and help them. And it was just fun.
Okay. I figured that was related, Bill. I just, I expected to see the words January 10th in here somewhere. That's the nurse comment. All right. But,
yeah.
I'm glad you got to... Go ahead.
So anyway, I'm in Florida. So at least I'm out of the cold. I keep listening to what you guys are going through and kind of chuckling.
You know, actually, right now I can go out in shorts and a shirt and be fine. It's not even that cold. It snowed like 3 or 4 times this month, and it's literally been melted the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just been a dusting. The most we got maybe
Yeah.
was 2 inches.
Well, we got like I'd say like 3 to 4 inches one day, and it was gone in like 2 days. It was gone. It was like, I think we're the first
Where I
snowfall.
live, I only got like 2 inches.
Yeah, we didn't even. I would even
Wow.
say we got that where I am.
Did you
Maybe
get
it was
freezing
just
rain?
me. Yeah, that we did get a lot of. But you get hurricanes, so we don't have to deal with that. Back to Zacinator, 48 Laws of Power. I'm going to read this book, because actually this is a book I might be interested in too. Very short book detailing how to maneuver social situations that apply correctly without ego can attain high positions in society. Many celebrities and politicians talk highly of the book. Okay, well that sounds like a good one. I'm all for promoting anything that can better one's person or give them a better stature or anything like that. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene. All right, I just advertised. Do I get money for that?
No.
Damn. Oh, he's probably not even alive anymore.
Going along
Yeah.
with what Lenny's doing, I will find out in the next month if we are moving or not. So I might be moving this year also, possibly.
Where?
Yeah, you had
Where
mentioned
to?
that before.
Don't know for sure. In all likelihood, if we don't get sent here again in the Detroit area, will be Buffalo, New York.
Oh,
No,
cold.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful over there.
And there's also, and those are just what was on the top 2 on his list. I mean, we could be sent somewhere else if possible.
So a new year is like a new life for 2 of you right now.
And I don't
It
know for
could be.
certain though.
Yeah.
I'll know within this month sometime.
Just don't forget us. See, Liddy's still here. She moved all the way to Florida, and she's still here.
Yeah.
She was showing off. She had a pool behind her earlier, but it was
Yeah, I
occupied
know.
with people, so we had to switch the
Well,
setting on there.
that's the funny thing is no one was out there all day. So I'm
Until
like, I'll
you-
set up out here.
It was
And then all of a
nice.
suden, children, and it's cold. Yeah.
Just waiting for Lenny to tell something that she said will curl my toes.
Uh-huh.
You're right. I shouldn't have egged him on. All right.
I warn you.
sorry,
I think
Zacinator.
Is
We
it
got to
the
get paid for
outfit?
that.
Is it the tank top, Bill? Is that it? That all you see is this little tank top?
No,
And
it's
that I've
just
been a
Bill.
nurse?
It's just Bill.
Don't remove the straps. If you do, he's just going to pass out, and we're not going to hear
Yeah.
from him anymore.
I had a jacket on outside, but it's so hot inside. So I'm like, I can't wear that coat for an hour.
Buffalo, New York. Really cheesy.
Good
humor.
wings there.
There you go. That's what you get in Buffalo, New York.
And
Breasts
lots
and
of
thighs
snow.
are better.
Oh my
I
gosh.
already hate that it's cold here. It's even colder there, so I kind of don't want to move there. But
Yeah, New
I
York
heard
gets
it's
really
My
cold.
husband's job,
Yeah.
so
So what did everybody do for the new year? Did anybody do any kind of celebrating, anything like that?
I slept right through it.
my husband and I stayed up and we watched the ball drop. We did the NBC one. They had different performers on. We didn't watch the whole thing, but just near like between like 11:30 and like 12:30 maybe. And we split a bottle of champagne.
Aw.
Nice.
We had a get together group here. They actually weren't my friends. They just wanted to use my house because it's got a full bar. I don't want to pretend they like me or anything. But we did. But it was one of the first years too that we had the TV on the ball drop, and we went to it for 10 seconds to count down, said Happy New Year, and ignored it. Didn't care about
Yeah.
performances. Didn't care about anything really with it this year. I don't even know if there was a ball dropping, honestly.
There was a
Was-
ball dropping. I
Okay.
think. I think. I was a full bottle of wine in at that point.
I was watching a countdown. I don't know if I actually watched a ball drop, to be honest. I can't remember.
That's what I'm trying to think. I don't remember if I actually saw a ball drop. I remember watching the countdown.
I was watching the numbers turn is what I did do. And then
Me too.
I didn't really
Me
pay
too.
attention to
As I
that.
stood on my front porch waiting to yell Jumanji, I totally did it. I totally did it.
Anybody got anybody feeling positive that it is
Me?
2020 is over like right now? Do you feel really good positive? Why are you positive, Nikki?
It's one of the things that like I took the couple weeks leading up to New Year's as like some serious reflection. And one of the things that I kind of found myself falling back to last year was like that negative energy. So that's just something that I've been focusing on. And I feel really good about this year. I feel some amazing things coming for everybody around me. I feel like it's just going to be a year of gains and strengths and positivity.
I think it is too. I really do think it is. I think a lot of things are changing. I think a lot of things are forever changed. And I think what we do with them is going to have a huge impact. And I think it can be a very positive impact in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything, I think we've learned to love one another a little more and hate one another, because we've developed a lot of hate, but we've definitely secured more love with certain people around us. And I think that's important.
I think it taught a lot of people adaptability too, like how strong some people really are to be able to adapt to such drastic changes.
For sure.
Maybe not everybody, but I think there was a big majority of people, at least from what I'm seeing, like, in the world, there's a lot of people who have really just taken some strengths from, the negative and turned them into a positive.
Yeah, what you said is a good point with the adapting to change and stuff like that. You find out who your friends are, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I discovered that a lot of people who I thought my friends were not, and some people I never thought were my friends were.
Me too.
That I think was one of the biggest takeaways I had. And the problem I have with that is I just should have looked closer.
Yeah.
Because they always were.
Yeah.
And I never always paid attention to
It's
them.
like the Wizard of Oz.
Including, of course it's like the Wizard of Oz. Of fucking course it's got to be like the Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy at the end, they were always right there. It's a true story.
It is not a... Wait, yes, it is a true story. It is a true story.
Is it?
It's
Wizard
not
of
a true
Oz?
story, guys. All right, yes, it's a true story. We're going to hit up really quick. Bill wants to go back to saying ball dropping. As exciting as that may be, Bill, I want to remind you that none of us even remembered if they did. All right, so it was not a very big event.
Nope.
I'm going to read this. I don't know if I'm going to answer this one or not because I haven't read it yet. I should have read it first. I have another long question for you if you'll permit it. Well, obviously, because I put it up on the screen. Relating to the COVID lockdowns and new severely restricting laws considered we are a democracy. I don't know what state you're in, so I don't know what you're dealing with, Zach. Do you think we will follow the path of China with social credit to the police and the last freedoms we have in this world? Rather than 1984, the feeling of everlasting oppression only has to be cemented entirely once. And with this new technology, is it not only eventually and not a possibility? No. Honestly,
No.
I'm going to have to say no. I don't
I don't
think
think so either.
No.
I think the biggest problem that people are going to face and the biggest thing that's going to happen is if they choose to go that direction. I think even in the political view, I think when people are choosing to follow a path of negativity, they're going to only find negativity. If they choose to follow something positive, they're going to change the world with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think as angry as I've been this last year at the people of America, regardless of size, just the way they've been acting a lot of times with the hate that's flown around. We did shows on this. I still believe in humanity. I still believe that ultimately we seek good in each other and good in our lives and good for our future generations. I don't think something like that would ever happen. Could it? Absolutely. I just don't believe we are people to do that. I believe we are people that want something better. The one thing I'll say, going political, both sides, I don't think either side is seeing the future negatively to somebody else. I think both sides see positivity in the future. We're seeking the same kind of outcome. We're just not seeking the same ways to get there. We're all seeking better lives. And I think for something like Zach Nader was saying to happen, we have to have more people that are seeking that kind of negative lifestyle. And I don't think we have that. I think
don't
one
either.
thing we can still lean on with each other is the love we have for each other. Bill, the world's never going to be the same. Very true. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Right.
There are some things, I don't really want to wear a mask for the rest of my life, don't get me wrong.
Right.
There's certain things about it that I hope goes back to normal. But it's not going to be the same. But more than the world not being the same, I should hope that the individual is not going to be the same. And as we were talking before, it's about reflection and what you have. So let's go back to reflection. I mentioned something about the way I feel about friends and finding out who I have. If you reflect back on your lives or anything like that, what do you think you can pull out of there that maybe you didn't realize before all this began? Maybe you were missing or didn't know it.
I definitely was. I'm always that person, like, on the exterior, like, I've got this tough exterior. I'm always got a smile on my face. Everything's great to the outside person. But for myself, I was not myself in 2020. I had just totally lost sight of who I really was and what I really wanted for my life, and just everything in general. And it's been a big, like, this past year has definitely brought change and strength to me, and confidence, and the ability to realize my shortcomings and then take action to change the things that I saw differently for myself. So that's what this year has been for me.
Do you think you could have done it without this year?
No, probably not, because this year brought, because of COVID, brought certain things into my life that if it didn't exist, they probably wouldn't be there. So, again, as much as I hate for so many people that struggled in 2020, I really just had so many blessings of such positive influences that have made me who I am and opened my eyes to what I can be, and just didn't give myself a chance, before.
Yeah. I agree with that. What about either one of you, Millie or Linny?
I bit off more than I could chew. I was always thought I could just handle anything, which I typically do. And I usually do it in a way that I don't have any stress doing it. It kind of makes me feel good to do. But I've just realized just how much help I actually need from other people, my family, but my family is not around to give it, So like what you said, I realized that I have friends that I didn't realize were really close friends, and that I have people that I would have assumed should have helped out without me even having to ask for it, which is family, and weren't there, So that part opened my eyes to a lot of things. But I did take on more than I think I should have it's just so hard that I need help, not only for my own well-being, but to be able to take care of them properly. I've realized that I need more help, so anyway.
And to take care of yourself too, Linny, because you do care for so many people. If you give all the pieces of you to all of them, then you leave nothing for yourself. So you have to hold on to a piece of yourself for yourself.
I've ran into that wall, and that was one reason too that I left Michigan, was because I knew I'd have the exact same thing at home, but I'd be cooped up inside, not be able to just get out and go for a walk or whatever it may be comfortably.
Yeah.
At least this I can see something beautiful out in front of me that's not dead and white or wind and ice, and
Yeah.
And I don't mind winter really.
I actually
White can
loved
be
the
beautiful.
white Christmas we had. So.
Yeah.
It was gone on the 26th, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Right.
It was. You know what, Linny, and for anybody going through stuff like that, you may have bit off more than you can chew, but eventually you will chew and you will swallow, and you'll be stronger for it. You'll get through it. You're not going to fail. It's not in your nature.
No.
Just believe you can do it. And I think the hardest thing I've had to do a lot of times in situations like that is accepting that I need help. And Linny, you know that more than anybody right now. I could never admit it. I could never do it. And when you get to that point that you say, I bit off more than I can chew, I need help, you're going to develop more friendships. You're going to develop more ties, and you're going to become stronger for everything you do with it. So just like 2020 was a suck-ass year, but positivity came out of it, right now you are in a suck-ass situation, but it's going to become positive in the long run. And then you'll know you can accomplish anything. I'll go back.
I think I've lost. Oh,
I was going to say I'll go to Millie in 1 second. That's all right.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I just wanted to hit really quick because he's referring to when you find out who your friends are. He says nowadays you have friends, bar friends, and Facebook friends. You just have to figure out who the real ones are. Yeah, Bill, you're one of them.
That's
Honestly,
something I
Bill.
figured out this year more too. I found out who was really a much closer friend than I realized, and I think you touched on that too, Keith. Some people who I thought were my closer friends really weren't, and then
Yeah.
others who I didn't realize cared that much did and really showed it, and so that is
I'd
very
have to
true.
say about 90% of the people that I actually thought would be there weren't,
Do you think?
and people
do
I
you think-
never imagined would be were.
Do you guys think because this is another big part of COVID has spun everybody's lives into something more difficult to deal with? So then they're so focused on their own set of problems that it's hard to listen to anybody else's problems
Yeah.
because it brings them down more or whatever it may be. I don't know. Or if certain people, it actually makes them feel better to help, but I don't know.
Well, for me, I
Everybody's-
found out some people it seems like only want to be my friend because they wanted to like go out and go out all the time. But then as soon as it wasn't, I couldn't go out. They're like, they want nothing to do with me and wouldn't talk to me
Yeah.
anymore. So, yet they still would go out and do things. So to me,
That's
that
what I
shows
was
they weren't
noticing.
really my friend.
I'm not a part of anything. I mean, if I'm not at the bar, nobody cares. Where I work and the people I know from the bar and stuff like that, nobody really cares. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
invite me. Well, I said you find out the few people that are. And I mean, literally, the people that helped create this group are some of the ones too. They're like into it. Let's do this, and they were the ones who responded, and not at all the people I thought would.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was really cool. Aside from Lenny, because you helped me come up with the idea, so I knew you would. Lenny also biting off more than you chew. Bill thinks it's perfect for January 10th. There's those words. Zach, I'm not actually going to put. There's some things in your comment I'm not going to put up here on the way, but I am going to read part of it and mention it. You said you agree that most people want good for each other, but history proof that the people who want power sees it. That is history and proof, but that's when the population was often different. They were more gullible. I'm not going to say they're not gullible in some cases, or that people don't think one side or the other is gullible right now. But the people in power are often run unopposed. And I don't think we're at a position in society anymore where that's going to happen. No matter, just using America for example, in 2016, I'm sorry to bring this up, but in 2016, people made up things and they said Trump was going to cause this or do this and blah, blah, blah. The thing is, the people of the United States would not let that happen.
Right.
Whether half did or not, but some of the extreme stuff they were talking about. Same thing with Biden coming into office. People are going to say that, he's going to cause these things. It's going to be the end of a lot of things. The people of the United States will not let that happen. I do believe, especially in the United States, that we are a much stronger civilization than that. You're right about some other countries around the world, not so much. But I believe in the U.S., I think we're going to go back uphill. I think we've started going downhill the last decade, maybe 15 years we've gone downhill. I think we're going to start going uphill because we finally have something. We've had a wake-up call.
I think it'll start on January 10th.
Well,
We don't have
heck
anybody
yeah.
signed up. It's just going to be me in a leather suit, Bill. I'm just saying. I was like, that's all it's going to be. I got a little teddy I'll wear for you, Bill.
Oh boy.
Oh, my God. But I'm glad to have you talking on here, Zach, because I like what you're saying. You've got some very deep stuff on here. We're going to have some shows that you're definitely going to be really good at. On here. You seem very well informed. Where are you from, Zach? Just curious. Other than most of all that stuff, what do you think, if you had to choose a resolution for our country or just the world in general, what would you want? What would you want them to do differently?
To show more kindness to others, to realize that the person you're standing beside could be going through something so much more significant than you can even fathom. And so showing that person kindness could be, the turn for their day. I just had a conversation with a mom last night who I was late night scrolling on Facebook and just happened to come across her post, and I could just feel her anguish and her hurt and her, suffering. And I reached out to her because that's what I do. And she literally said to me, and it literally brought me to tears, and it, thinking about it now, it's still, we just had a really nice conversation, and I just told her, I'm here to support you, and, anything I can do to help you. And she said, thank you for being that person, because when so many people are hurting or knocked down and feel like they can't get back up, instead of people reaching their hand out to help them back up, they're kicking them in the face and, knocking them down further. Yeah. So that would be what I would hope for the world, is to show more kindness to others.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good one. I kind of along with that, maybe listening to people more. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do way too much talking and not enough listening, I think. Yeah. And I think a lot of things and a lot of relationships.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I zoned out for a minute. I was just kidding.
But you can really repair a lot of relationships and other things by just listening a little bit more. Yeah. To have more understanding and listening, instead of just always talking over people. Right.
I think that's a good thing. Is that like a message to me for talking over everybody on the show?
No. I was talking about in general.
I get the hint. It's all right, Millie.
How about you, Keith?
I was asking you.
You were asking me?
Yeah. I'll tell you. Wait a minute. Go ahead. Or you need time to think.
Oh, no. No. I just...
What's yours? What would your resolution?
Just equality. Just that there's no more racism. There's no more... Just that kind of on the line of what Nikki was saying. But just for everyone to kind of get along and look at each other as an equal. Rather than someone has more or less than me, or somebody is, looks better or doesn't look good, or somebody, just to have everybody be able to live together and be happy. Mm-hmm. So, and healthy.
Yes.
I guess, Zach, by the way, is from the UK. So I was asking that before I go into mine, because I didn't know what you were dealing with over there, if it was the same or not over here in the U.S. I was just curious.
We're
so obviously you're going through a lot of it. Oh, we're international. That's right. See, we're growing and we don't even know it. So I like that. So obviously the UK is suffering there too. I want to point out to everybody watching this, a lot of people think for us in the United States, some of us in Michigan, some of us maybe are in Florida, some of us in other places who are watching, we think we're the only ones dealing with this sometimes. We think that it's in the U.S., we think it's our state. But a lot of states are going through it. And the U.S. in a whole thinks it's the country, but a lot of countries are going through it. We're not alone, and the only way we get through this is by trying to stick together. The one thing I really wish that people pull out of 2020 and into 2021 is that we can't see through walls, in a sense. And when you talk about the skin of a person, that's a wall. I wish people would take the time to start to look inside, like you said, the person next to them. Yeah. And get to know them. And stop judging what they think they know. Because our skin hides every single thing inside of us. Our hearts, our minds, our souls, what we could be. We're a very diverse panel, just looking at us, not color-wise, but we really are, as far as if you looked at any one of us, you would think we had different backgrounds. You would think you kind of isolate where everybody came from. Like Lenny, I just see her as kind of the rich girl. Lenny is nothing like that. Well, you're always like, you're fancy, you make yourself up, and I've seen you in some of your beautiful outfits for like weddings and stuff, that's personally, I mean, and you'd come off as that, but you're far from that person.
I'm a farm girl.
Yeah. I don't even want to know what people would think of me, just looking at me, but they'd get their opinion of who I was. And they would look at, Nikki, I would think you're from kind of the suburb type thing, you're kind of that trailer park mom girl sometimes, the way you come off just in your vocal things, but that's not at all who you are. You get what I'm saying, though, if people judge it, and Millie's a goody two-shoes. And, well, Millie is a goody two-shoes. So sometimes you can be right on there. I do think that people really have to look at who's next to them and who's around them and get to understand who they are, because your best friend and somebody who could take you through the hardest times might be that person you never thought once would.
Yes.
And I think we've become so focused on knowing everybody and knowing everything from either what they look like, one opinion, what they've posted on Facebook or anything like that. I think that that's really got to go. I think the judgment is ridiculous. And Zach, I'm going to get to that. You agree with views on judging people. It's a fundamental thing that people do not understand. Don't let sex, age, color, in a minute. You wait your turn. Yeah, go ahead, Linda.
No, go ahead.
No, but I don't think sex, age, color, anything like that should ever determine anything about anybody. Get to know them. They're people, humans, independently, are fascinating. As a species, every one of us has... You ever notice that humans have the exact same features, but everyone looks so different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a fascinating species, and it doesn't stop there. It goes inside. You'll learn so much from people you never imagined. Go ahead, Lenny. I'm going to get to some of the other comments after
Well,
that.
it's kind of a question because I know this happened to me during the COVID thing. I wound up getting in touch with people that were old friends, like friends from high school,
Yeah.
like my really old friends. We all kind of reconnected. And I don't know why, and I wondered if and it has nothing to do with Facebook either, because it wasn't even that. I think it was truly with what was going on. Everybody was home, you know, and wanted a confidant that they could talk to that wasn't, you know, maybe there were friends that they thought, you know, weren't friends, but
Yeah.
so they called on their old friends. So I don't know if you guys contacted any of your old friends from
I'd
when
already
you were
been
a
in
kid.
contact. I'd already been in contact with the ones that I still am in. You know, so not for me, not anybody different.
Yeah.
I mean, I reconnected with a couple of my old like high school friends like a few years ago, and we still kept in contact. So
I think it did. I found myself wanting to actually be one of the people to contact people I haven't talked to in a long time. I put a post up on the Ear Shoulder Voice at one point that said, go to the bottom of your text messages, the very, very bottom, and connect to somebody you haven't talked to in years. You know, and that's actually what prompted it, because I found myself wanting to know what people were up to, and I wanted to be that person
Right.
that discovered new friends. What about you, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely talked to friends from high school, and then I made new friends. I lost friends. I lost, family, not through death, but just through the madness. Bill.
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
I missed that one.
You'll see it in a minute.
Yeah, I just definitely that it's been a year of growth in so many ways. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it has for a lot of people. I think we have grown up. Honestly, I think we're like in our terrible twos right now, or maybe our rebellious teens, but I think we are regrowing up. Because I think we're learning enough things, but we're still fighting our old ways, but I think we're going to come out on top in the long run. I think that's really where we're headed.
Yeah.
Bill's one of the things he hopes for the rest of the world out there is don't panic when the virus mutates. Wear your mask and be thoughtful of others. Mask is a choice that a lot of people have. I do believe in them helping. Some people do not. But you're right. Just, don't panic. Don't act ridiculous. Don't go off the handle. Deal with it. Nature is something we will not beat.
Right.
So you just have to get through it. And I think that's one of the hardest things for us to do. Yeah, damn right, I do what I want. I'm the guy with the finger on the button on the show. That's right. Don't you forget it. See, I can just get rid of everybody else. It's my show. See, it's that easy. And I probably did say pull out at some point. Sounds like something I would say, even if it had nothing to do with the topic. It's just something I would say. Not do, but would say. Bill, tell the ladies to stand up and turn around so that we can see their backgrounds. Wait for a week. Now, wait 1 week on here. So are we looking forward to the new year? Mm-hmm. 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 We think there's going to be a change?
Yeah.
I do.
I think so. Yes.
I already started change. Like I started it, like I said earlier, I started it sooner than the new year because in my mind, like I just don't, like I saw no point in waiting. If I could do it, if I can do it now, why wait, a week or 2 weeks, whatever. So
No.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to see what is to come for us
Yeah.
all.
And like Jan had asked, Jan said if you wanted to help somebody else. Has anybody gone that route? Do they think that have they changed their view on helping other people at all? I mean, we're all people that like to help others, but it's come
Yeah.
to more light like it did with Jan.
I mean, I've always been a helper.
Yeah.
But I've
Yeah, me
taken it.
too.
Yeah, I've taken it kind of to a new place. Like I friended a woman who I probably wouldn't have otherwise done so if I just wasn't in this new growth in my life. And
Yeah.
and it's just been amazing. She's been a blessing to. We haven't even met face to face yet, and I already just absolutely adore the person that she is. And yeah.
Yeah.
So-
it can have the same effect.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact,
Even
she
though
sent
you're
me
already a giving person.
yeah, and she sent me a message, which another time it brought tears to my eyes, but she sent me a message on Christmas. I sent her a sweet little message and said, Merry Christmas, my beautiful friend. So grateful to have you in my life. And she says to me, you have no idea the impact you have made on my life just being in it. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so it's those things, just those little things that just reinforce what we're doing here, what we can do as humanity to help somebody. You might not even realize the littlest things can change somebody's life.
Primarily, Millie and Linny are two examples of people that have changed the way I try to help other people. I've always saw myself as the helper, reach out, help anybody, all that. Because they need, I'm going to be there. And I would literally do whatever I could, even put myself, in the worst position to do it.
You just might.
But I never, ever would have for Millie or Linny because in my head, everything was going great for them. Why would they need help with anything? And I've learned that I guess I'm not always right when I look at people and just assume that they've got it together. So yeah, I've changed the way I'm going to help people, and I'm going to help the ones that matter instead of the ones that look like they need it. Because I've also learned, which I've been learning for a few years, those that often look like they need it are often the ones that cause their own pain, and you can't help them. Mm-hmm. The ones you can help are the ones you cherish and keep close. So that's it has changed the way I want to help the world, and this show has changed the way I want to help people.
Yeah.
That's the whole point behind it. Either of you, anything to add to that?
Happy New Year.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing to add. It's a really good thing to add. Happy New Year. Yeah, today's topic has been what's your resolve? It's a new year. We've definitely talked about the pains, and for the last time, we've talked about 2020.
Amen.
Yes, I don't think we have to actually bring it. We're going to bring it up again, too, though, eventually, but we don't have to reflect that we're living in it anymore. And I went all blurry. Look at that.
I was about
There
to
we
say
go.
what happened. I was like,
I moved a little too far. My camera autofocused on there. All right, but you know what? A new year, often people relate New Year's to New Year resolutions, and the one thing you're going to change. We talked about at the beginning of the show, a lot of times it's things like smoking, maybe it's drinking. We all gave up drinking. We're going to be back on that next week, don't worry. No, we can't stay on there. And a lot of times your New Year's resolutions for most of our lives have been exactly that. They've been simple little bad habits you have, and this year, resolutions changed. We're discovering the people we are. We're discovering we are people we never knew we were, and we're discovering that the people around us also are people we never knew or understood. I'm going to get to you in a minute, Zachinator. I love that name, by the way, Zachinator. I do. It's like out of the 80s, but not. It's just cool. I'm not, but you know what? Self-reflection is the biggest thing I think anybody has learned from this. I think we've learned a lot of who we are. And if you're not making your New Year's resolution on the day of New Year's and expecting to follow it through, make that change throughout the new year. It's not a new day.
yes.
It's a new year.
Yes.
And it may take a year to accomplish that. If you live for yourself, you live to better the people around you, or try to, and you live to better yourself at the same time, you will achieve more happiness in your life. The minute you give up, the minute you stop trying, the minute you say resolutions don't matter, they don't count, there's no reason for them, is the minute you're just going to live the same past over again. So don't do that. Stay positive. Stay happy. Enjoy life. Enjoy what you have, because the one thing we have in common is we're here, we're breathing, and we have each other to lean on. Don't forget while you're here, like, share, follow, and subscribe to Ear Shoulder Voice on all that good shit. I'm not even going to announce. Yes, I am. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, which Periscope's gone, I think, soon, so we won't be on Periscope anymore because Periscope's going bye-bye. But we're there right now. So do that. You can stay updated with all our shows. You can be a live panelist if you want to be on some of our shows. You can chat, engage us. We'll try to respond to everything we can. Really good to have you. Zach apparently is not his name. I'm going to bring that up really quick because Zach said something before we close out the show. And as soon as I figure out where I am, because I kind of lost it, there we go. He's got interesting things for me. If you like, I listen first is to go down an entire Paladin Press PDF book list, everything manufactured in guerrilla warfare. Okay, so that's the kind of the thing with the books. We're going to get to that. I don't know if you can post. Yeah, it looks like you can post links. Just no links to anything extremist on here, please, if you can avoid it. And you can peruse if you wish. I do like that you give people the option, and one thing I appreciate, anybody who is on this show and wants to bring up anything that's topic political, just try to make it optional. Try to give perspective from both sides, and that's what we appreciate more than anything, just not one-sided. So you're right, though. A lot of things, though, something he said here really did make sense to me. There's a lot of extremist views that you can find, and I'm just going to broaden this to the internet and stuff. Be aware that people are extremely manipulative and take everything you read and what people say with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
That is very true, and that is one of the things I think this last year that has made people go downhill, is people believe everything. And even as I say this, most people believe you're right. Everybody I know on the other side believes everything. But the truth is, they're one of the people that believe everything too. So quit. Listen to your head. Listen to your heart. Don't try to put things or piece things together based on what other people say. People write articles. People write stuff so that they can convince you that they're right. Don't be that person. Think. If you can't handle it and you believe everybody is against you, stick to the people who are not, who are your friends. Stick around them. Stay close with them. They're not going to let you down. And if the world goes to shit, your friends will be right beside you.
Yeah.
Don't alienate them. And Zach is not his real name. Fair enough. All right, I like the mask. But no, Zachinator. I like Zachinator. Thank you again for coming, Nikki. Absolute pleasure to have you on this show. You are fantastic.
Always love being here, Keith. Missed everybody.
It's good. I hope you achieve all your goals with the new year. I did miss you. I didn't get to see you a lot.
I'm gonna achieve them. You watch. You just watch, man.
That is the attitude you need, and that's the attitude a lot of people need.
Yes.
Millie, your year has been a big old shit show.
Yeah.
I do believe it's getting better. I do see a lot of positivity coming out from you now. I think you're embracing that a little bit, and I think your new year is going to be great. Keep that positive attitude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And thank you for being here. You already did. You got to spend your holidays like you haven't in a long time. You got to spend them with the ones you truly love and care about, or the one that you never get that intimate time with, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And along that same lines, Lenny, you've been going through hell and back right now, but you've got your family there, and they may be some of the reasons for some of the stress that you're going through, but they're there.
But they're here, exactly.
And you get to spend it with them, and I think that's beautiful. Lenny, I love having you on here. You are a ray of sunshine.
Too.
You are a wizard. You are our Dorothy. You're our Dorothy. I'm your cowardly lion.
I love the lion.
That's why. That's me. Everybody likes it. And I also want to thank Bill for being here. Bill, glad to have you here.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to thank the chat panel yet, Bill. You were going to be included on that. Thank you for everybody who engaged in the chat. Thank you, Zachinator, for being here. You take care, too. You've all been fantastic. We look forward to seeing you. The show is nothing without you, so we hope that continues on and on and on and on, because we're going to keep going, and we hope you do, too. Stay strong, everybody.
See you guys Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Oh, I didn't do that.
everyone.
Hold on.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Wednesday. I forgot. Wednesday. I do want to bring this up. Thank you, Nikki. See, it's been a long time. I'm on a break. I don't remember what to do. All right. Our Wednesday show is I Have No Choice, The Controlling Relationship. It's all about being stuck in controlling relationships and not knowing how to get out of it. If you have gotten out of it, what steps did you take? I think a lot of us have been in controlling relationships and didn't even realize it. By the way, this is bothering the fuck out of me with my hair. It keeps popping out to the side. I was like, so that's going to be our Wednesday topic show. Okay, once again, bye, y'all. Have a great night. Thank you again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. New year, new credits.
Love it.
Yay.
Oh, I didn't switch us back. There we go. All right. So, New Year. That's a good show.
Yeah, I
Happy
did
New Year.
miss you guys. I did miss you
I
guys.
miss you so much. I didn't realize how
know.
much I needed this show.
I know, seriously. I had a few. There was a few moments. I think specifically Christmas Day because my kids were gone, and it was just kind of like, like I just was blah. Like it just didn't seem normal. So
I
it
was
kind of
like
put
that
me in
too,
this
the last
funk.
couple
Yeah.
weeks. I've been.
I was
like
getting
that.
there too. That's what I was saying. I was going
Yeah.
downhill a little bit, and I'm like, what is wrong? And I was realizing I'm not
I-
doing it as much as
I had a few days. It was hard for me to get out of bed.
That's that I actually did. I would have like a day of activity, and the next day I'm like, I did enough for the week.
Yeah.
Just stay.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me. I'd get a bunch done, and then a day or two, nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
You know what I've been doing, and it's helped, and it's probably because it releases all those good endorphins. Like I've been going to the gym. My gym membership I was being charged. Like after everything opened back up, I didn't know until like just a couple weeks ago. I looked at my bank statement, and my gym started charging me again. So I was like, "What the frick? Well, I better start going." So I did start going, and the more I went, the better I was feeling. When I was feeling those, like those moments of just blah, I would go to the gym. Like I would take it out on the weights. I would take it out at the gym, and it helped tremendously.
The punching
Yeah.
bag.
Yes.
Lenny, his background thing is mainly geared towards you because he's really hoping that like reveals a lot of back on your
He
dress.
wants to see the junk in the
He
room.
does.
I just have sweats on.
No, you
I
don't
just
have to.
like I have sweats on. Yeah.
You know what's
I
really
can't
cool
get
is
to
when
the
you get up,
junk.
it was like 3D for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, the junk down below is about the same. Was that kind of X-rated there?
No, you're okay. You're closed. You're fine.
So there
yeah,
you go,
it was
Bill. You
weird.
got part of it.
You'll see more in a week. 1 week from today, Bill's life comes to fruition. That will be 1 week. Wow.
Hopefully,
I'm not ready for that
I
show.
don't know if I'll even be here
My husband actually was like,
You
that
will
"Nice,
be
not
here.
that show, is it?" I was
Even if
like,
you're not
"No."
going to be here, don't say it while Bill's still here.
Yeah, no. I'll have to find the internet. That's my internet where my villa isn't so hot. So we'll see. Hopefully my booster comes before that day.
Well, you can just send me photos or something, like you
All
try
right.
on different outfits, and I'll just keep posting them on the screen for Bill, because that's all he really wants to
Sprinkle 'em
see
in there.
anyway. Yeah,
right.
we'll just do them on there. No, but you know what? During this whole period when I was going down, clothes are optional January 10th. If we were on different mediums, I would say that's true. For you, though, you can watch the show naked, Bill. We don't care. We're fine. And I realized this gave me purpose. And I looked so much forward,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, to the break, because we've pretty much gone straight at it since September
Yeah.
with no breaks. And I was looking forward to the break, because this is officially the start of our second season, as far as I'm concerned, every year
Yeah.
on there. And as the first day, the break was nice. But after that, I wanted it. And it gave me purpose, something to do, probably primarily
Yeah.
because of the COVID thing. It
Yeah.
was a scheduled something that I worked on. And
Yeah.
like literally when it got back today, I'm like, oh shit, there's a show. I got to do the graphics. I haven't even scheduled or published it anywhere. So it was like, oh crap.
My kids, it was even to the point where my kids were like, don't you have your show tonight? And I'm like, no, we're on a break. And then Greg was like, don't you have your show tonight? And I'm like, stop giving me anxiety. No, I don't. I'll tell you when.
And anybody that's still watching that missed it, including the people on here, our show for January 17th has been canceled. I will be out of town, and currently I'm the only one who can really run the show, so that one did get canceled. Wah, wah, wah. But it was about the social media, so it's not really it wasn't a really huge show. We can just move that to a different date.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping it was going to be the 10th just to piss Bill off. But
I don't
They'll be
remember
like,
what one
I
I
watched
signed
this
up
show.
for. I have to go back and check.
I know my husband's he thought tonight was actually the January 10th show, and he was like, oh, you're doing it? And I'm like,
hey, but no, that's good because now we know you can. He'll just
Well,
say, oh, you're
right.
doing it.
well, I'm just going to say, oh no, we're talking about how to cook chicken.
This is our church show. It's like,
This is how you eat your chicken properly.
this is how you eat the breast.
How
But
do you
fine.
stuff your turkey?
You know it's done when it pops out, you know. Got a week for that. Got a week for all that.
Who's bringing
Oh,
the
this is-
Jello?
I got Jello shots still. I got a
Sugar
Yeah, we
ton
had
of
a
Jello
conversation
shots.
about this
Better be
earlier.
sugar free.
I can't do no sugar-free Jello. I'm fat. You think I can stay fat with
I
sugar-free shit?
can't have sugar.
I switched to sugar-free coffee. Like, 'cause I drink the canned coffee. Well, that's what I used to drink was sugar-free canned
Wait,
coffee.
coffee has sugar?
Well, the canned ones do.
Oh, I didn't
Monster had one with no sugar, and then I can't find that anywhere. And Starbucks just released a zero sugar one because I don't want the sugar. I just want the pep.
know. Yeah.
So, I did my part. I think I'm good. I should be healthy for the year.